In headline scene is the West Ham with a bit of a change of shape from their 2-2 draw with Bournemouth away last time out. Resulted in 3 personnel changes. Igor, Kilman and Luis Guilherme dropped to the bench with Paqueta, Mavropanos and Magassa coming into the starting lineup. Liverpool made 2 changes from their 3-0 home defeats against Nottingham Forest. Jones and Salah drop out with Gomez and Vers replacing them. There's like a bit of a different role this afternoon for Dominic Szoboszlai as well. So the full teams are as stated. I think West Ham would have line up in a 4-3-3. So Ariola in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Mavropanos and Jeev made the back 4. Magassa, Potts and Fernandes will sit in the 3 in midfield. Bowen providing width on the right with Paqueta on the left in support of Callum Wilson, who is amongst the goals recently. They have a bench of Hermansen, Kyle Walker-Peters, Max Kilman, Igor, Nicholas Philpott, Larissa Guilherme, Guido Rodriguez, Thomas Souček and Andrew Irvine. And Liverpool this afternoon lining up in 4-2-3-1 formation. Alisson in goal with Gomez, Konate, Van Dijk and Kerekes the back 4. Gravenberch and McAllister will be sitting in midfield with Wirtz, Szoboszlai and Gakpo in behind Alexander Isak. So as the players have made their way out onto the pitch, West Ham in their traditional home kit of claret and blue, Liverpool sporting an away kit of white this afternoon. There's been some very sad news coming out of West Ham this afternoon, very recently, that Billy Bonds, MBE, has passed away, age 79. Players will form a moment's applause to honour him. So Billy Bonds, the club's record appearance maker for West Ham with 799 games for the club over a span of 21 years as a player and also 4 years as a manager. He captained the club to 2 FA Cup wins in 1975 and 1980, so a true West Ham legend, as the players show their appreciation for him. And they'll be sporting black armbands this afternoon at the London Stadium. Alphonse Areola wearing all yellow and Alisson his opposite number all in green, as the players stand on the centre circle for a moment's applause before this game. So last season, Liverpool managed to do the double over West Ham. The home game finished for Liverpool finished in a 2-1 victory in April with goals from Diaz and Van Dijk. Last season here at West Ham, it finished West Ham 0, Liverpool 5, with 5 different goal scorers being Luis Diaz, Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold and the late Diogo Jota. So West Ham will be very much hoping for a change of fortunes this afternoon based upon last season's, as we see Jared Bowen just walking over to the home support, holding aloft a Bonds shirt, number 4 on the back, and he lays that down in front of the fans as a matter of remembrance. And both players now both sets of players both into their halves, ready to get this game started. So West Ham currently the form side in this fixture. 2 wins and a draw in their last 3. Liverpool on a really sticky run, one which most wouldn't expect. It's Liverpool that get us underway with Van Dijk doing long towards Isak. He does most of the flick the ball on, but that will obviously go through to Areola and the West Ham goal. Areola just places that ball down and sends it long himself up towards Callum Wilson, but Gravenberch who wins that battle, and there's a late tackle in there from Callum Wilson early doors, which leaves Gravenberch on the floor. Gravenberch just getting the second ball and trying to play out, and it's Callum Wilson coming in and standing on his foot. Bit of a sore one straight away. Liverpool gets back of the way with Joe Gomez putting right back this afternoon, which has allowed Dominic Szoboszlai to be more advanced. Gomez finds Wirtz, who plays into Isaac, but stolen away by Mavropanos, who then comes forward and finds Wilson, who finds Bowen in a bit of space on the right-hand side. Bowen coming forward into the Liverpool area, just cuts inside, plays in Callum Wilson with a good touch. Wilson there finds Juve overlapping, who puts across it nice and deep, but it's going to go all the way through for a goal kick. But straight away, Jarrod Bowen finding a bit of space and driving into it on these left thirds. Promising signs for the West Ham captain. Liverpool take the kick short with Allison and Van Dijk. West Ham was happy to sit in their shape and let Liverpool have it. Van Dijk brings it to the edge of the area and then plays it across for Konate. Konate sends it back to his captain. And he finds Kerkez on the left-hand side. Kerkez forced just to go back to Van Dijk. She rolls the ball to his centre-back partner, all very slow in the build-up so far. West Ham was happy to sit. Liverpool happy just to pass it around. As Grunberg picks it up and finds Kerkez on the left, who's going to venture into the Liverpool half. Kerkez on the left-hand side as Gakpo side him, and he's Gakpo driving down towards the byline. His touch is too heavy, and that'll be out of play for a West Ham goal kick. Gakpo not impressed by the contact he has. We see pictures of Mo Salah, who on the bench this afternoon for Liverpool. Ariota sends the ball long towards Wilson, who wins his header. That's going to go out of play for a throw to West Ham in the left back position. Kerkez is taking Simon from the steer a few yards as he's just in front of the West Ham dugout. Kerkez then throws that down the line, but it's Yigasa who wins his header. It's bouncing around, and West Ham have it with Wan-Bissaka. He's going to chip that out the line for Bowen to chase, but Van Dijk just steps across and heads up forwards. It's gone all the way through to Magasu, who then just hooks it over his shoulder, left foot, and Konate sends it back. There's a miskick there which allows Wirtz to run forward. Wirtz coming towards the edge of the area, plays in Gakpo, who steps over, who finds Isak, who shoots. Is over the bar. Good move from Liverpool on the break, but Alexander Isak just leading back from outside the area and clears the crossbar by considerable distance. He'll be disappointed in that one. Yet to get off the mark for Liverpool in the Premier League this season. Goal kick for West Ham is going to be taken long as Ariota just sends his defenders up. A couple of them were looking for a short kick. Liverpool win the knockdown, and McAllister was sent it for, but Todibo will collect that at the back for West Ham and send it back to his keeper. He then comes right to Mavropanos, who's the other line long. He's going to go over Jarrod Bowen's head, and that'll be a throw deep in the Liverpool half as the West Ham supporters applaud in the 4th minute for Billy Bonds. If you are just joining us, Billy Bonds, West Ham Club legends, announcer. They've announced that he passed away this morning. So lots of appreciation for the true West Ham legends. 5 minutes gone here, it's Dolas. Debo plays it out to Juve on the left side. Juve just happens just to check back in and go back to his centre back. Mavropanos goes to Wan-Bissaka on the right hand side. He comes in to Magasu, who's going to spray that left, looking for the run of Juve, but intercepted by Gomez, and Szoboszlai can then regain possession for Liverpool with Konate. Canati just rolls that ball out of his feet and tries to play a long ball himself with Isaac. Can't with his head up, and that's going to bounce through to Tadibo, who goes to his left back, Jeez puts it up the line for Wilson to chase, but Canate can only just come across and knock that out for the West Ham throw halfway through the Liverpool half. Intriguing start to the game so far. Both teams happy to almost sit off each other and play those long balls and try and pick up the pieces. As Jeeves gets back underway with a throw down the line, and he wins himself another one off of Joe Gomez. West Ham is sneaking towards the edge of the Liverpool area. Jeeves again with a throw. Finds Paxar is going to hook it over his man and wins a corner. First corner of the afternoon. Ryan Gravenberch trying to step across and knock that out. There'll be a corner over on the left-hand side for West Ham. 7 minutes gone. And Charlton to put a set piece. Both West Ham and Liverpool have conceded the most goals from set pieces this season, both with 9. So both teams will look to capitalise as the ball comes in deep towards Tadibo, but good header away by Gravenberch. And then Wirtz is going to try and pick up the second, but Wan-Bissaka thumps it into the air. It's going to go all the way through for a throw-in on the right-hand side, level with the penalty area for Liverpool. Wan-Bissaka just taking no chances there for Wirtz in the break. He's already had one good run this afternoon. Gomez takes a few steps forward and throws up towards halfway, and he'll get that back again. It's been headed out for a throw. Ball thrown back to Alisson. He's skewed his kick a little bit, but Canate with a good touch can get him out of trouble, and Liverpool try and play their way out with some neat triangles. McAllister and Wirtz. McAllister's then going to send that long out left towards Gakpo, who then finds Kirkes in support. Liverpool coming forward now into the West Ham half. Gakpo looks to cutting side, who has to go back to McAllister, but still in a dangerous position here for Liverpool. With McAllister, West Ham plenty of players back now, so Liverpool just having to sit. Gravenberch finds Canate, goes to Szoboszlai. He's gone out to the right hand side for a moment. Canate still with the ball, then looks to get that into the channel, but Tadibo just quite simply steps across and cuts that one out. And then thunders his clearance off of Joe Gomez, and it will be a throw in for West Ham right down by their own corner today. She's just being told to head back a few yards, by both the assistant and the referee. And with a bit of a 1-2 from Mr. Harry, he's managed to clear that as long as he can. It's gone all the way through to Alisson. Alisson just then rolls it out to Van Dijk. He finds Canate outside of him on the halfway line. Canate again into the channel. This time for Isak's chase, but he's too heavy. And Ariola will come out and claim. Ariola, all in yellow, just rolls out to Mavropanos. And he finds the young Freddie Potts. He's had an impressive season so far for West Ham. Chief under a bit of pressure, just back inside to give himself a bit of time, and we'll head back to Tadibo. West Ham starting to get out a little bit at the moment, but Tadibo finds Paquetá is dropped deep. Paquetá then finds a great ball out right for Wan-Bissaka to run to. West Ham in the vast position, level with the edge of the area. Wan-Bissaka out right, puts the ball in towards the box, is punched away by Alisson. Only as far as Mangasa. He can go back to Paquetá, is going to shoot from distance, it's been blocked. West Ham still have it. Liverpool can't quite clear their lines. But the referees have stopped play as Alisson has gone down during that collision where He came out to punch. Wan-Bissaka put in the cross. It's a good one. And Callum Wilson's just over his head, and Averson's had a bit of a clash with Joe Gomez and has stayed down. Doesn't look too major, but might be a little bit uncomfortable for the keeper. "11 minutes gone at the London Stadium. Still West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. Alisson looks like he's been essentially winded there. Hardy Slot using that time that he's got now just to have a bit of a tactical chat with Tony Gakpo. He's playing predominantly on the left-hand side currently. Alisson back to his feet. And Marvinashvili can take a seat back on the bench, as he's not going to be called for just yet. It looks like Alisson's going to be okay to continue. As the referee has the ball in hand, ready to get us that underway, which he does. He drops the feet of Freddie Potts, who just rolls it back to Paquetá. He comes right to Wan-Bissaka. Liverpool with everyone back behind the ball currently, so West Ham forced to go back to Mavropanos, then Todibo and Jeeth. Played some nice one-touch football there, West Ham. Happy just to keep possession at the moment. Todibo on the edge of his area, rolls it across to Mavropanos. He goes back to Areola. And West Ham will go long now, looking for Wilson. His first touch eludes him, and Liverpool through McAllister and Wirtz can try and get themselves up the pitch. McAllister goes left towards Isak. His first touch doesn't stick. Wan-Bissaka can steal that away. And Wan-Bissaka plays a neat triangle with Paquetá, and that allows Freddie Potts to go clear up the pitch. Freddie Potts in plenty of space on the right hand side, puts the ball into the box. Dealt with by Konate and then hooked away by Kirkes. But Alisson all over everyone, and Wan-Bissaka will pick it up in his own half. Already West Ham come again with Paquetá just over halfway. Wins himself a free kick after being pulled back by Florian Wirtz. Mangasa gets us underway quickly, knocking it over to the left-hand side with Juve. Juve goes back to Mangasa, who now finds Paquetá, who's placing out this right-hand side at the moment. Wan-Bissaka will try and go on the outside of Gakpo. They come together, and Wan-Bissaka does most to keep the ball right on the touchline now. Kirkes is playing off of Wan-Bissaka, and where Liverpool a throw in line with the edge of their area. Liverpool in white shirts, black shorts, black socks this afternoon. Kirkes using his t-shirt just to dry the ball, and takes 7 steps back before looking to throw this up the line. Does to Wirtz, who then gets it back to Kirkes, who will spread that across the pitch to the right, and there's a good touch from Joe Gomez, who then plays in Gravenberch to drive forward, and he's brought down by Paquetá just before halfway. Good driving run from Ryan Gravenberch, playing in that deep line role currently for Liverpool. Back underway with Wirtz just over halfway. He finds Kirkes on the left, but plenty of players around him, so he's gone back to McAllister, who then uses Van Dijk on the halfway line. McAllister goes left to Kirkes. Tries to go around, but it's broken for Wirtz on the edge of the area, and plays a dangerous ball across, and she's going to only clip that behind for a corner. Very fortunate that the ball fell for Wirtz after Bowen slid in to tackle Kirkes, and it was a good left-footed ball across. Dangerous ball all along the floor, but just ahead of Isaac. And Jeef just flicked it behind for a corner. So Liverpool yet to score from a corner this season. Szoboszlai raises his arm and sends it in as an away swing with the first hand is Van Dijk. And it's only the bar. Bit of a right smile on the face of Van Dijk. I think he probably feels he could have done better there. It's a high out swinger. Van Dijk getting above Fernandes for West Ham. They don't really direct it high and wide. It's gone at the LondonStadium. Still goalless. Neither keeper having to make a save just yet. Look, both sides playing some good stuff. Bode has it in the Liverpool half, but Brumberg is going to steal that off him, then releases Wirtz on halfway. Wirtz plays it back into Gakpo, whose pass is cut out. West Ham did steal it away. Mangasa plays direct ball, but that's going to be picked out by Joe Gomez. He goes back to Van Dijk, and McAllister now on halfway just raises his hands just to get Liverpool to settle and calm down. Gravenberch comes forward, plays a great ball in towards Gakpo. First touch just allows Mavropanos to steal it away, and now it's West Ham's turn to come forwards with Fernandes. Skips past a couple, plays a good ball out to the left, and Callum Wilson will pick this up into the edge of the area. Goes into the area, shoots, and that hits Konate, and now be behind for another corner for West Ham. A great break from West Ham there. Matheus Fernandes went past a couple of players and then spread a fantastic ball to the left-hand side for Callum Wilson to run onto. The angle was getting tighter and tighter. And as Wilson pulled the trigger, it was a good block by the left boot of Konate. Be behind for a corner. It's going to be in the swinger from the left-hand side. It's like it's Freddie Potts has gone over to take it. In comes the ball. It's a good one on the edge of the area. Is eluded everyone. Now will go out of play for the goal kick. Dangerous ball there, just level with the 6-yard line, but just slightly too deep. Mavropanos was closest to it, but not able to trouble the keeper. Liverpool back in the way with Anderson in his white green all in one. Konate would take the ball forwards. McAllister just happy to drop back in between his and Spaz to pick up the ball. Rolls this foot over it a couple of times, and he's going to send that long and left for Kirk as in space. First touch looks like it's come off his arm. Darren England, the referee, agrees. So a defensive free kick for West Ham, just in line with the edge of their area. There's Ariola, all in yellow, who's going to charge it out to take that one. Alphonse Ariola, the Frenchman, takes a couple of steps forward and sends that high and long towards Wilson, but Van Dijk wins that header, but it's going to be returned by Jeef towards there. It's been allowed to bounce. Van Dijk can deal with the first one, and the flag is raised against Callum Wilson. But it seemed a bit unusual for Van Dijk to let that one bounce in a dangerous area. Liverpool coming forward with Gomez on halfway. He goes back to Konate in the centre circle. Do finds Van Dijk a little bit more advanced. Every outfield player in the West Ham half now is Gakpo on the left-hand side. Just half turn and then releases Kirkes outside him. Kirkes with Wan-Bissaka diving in. Wins a throw-in. Goes back to his skipper, Van Dijk. He finds Gakpo a bit more central this time. It's very congested in there. Kirkes does back to Van Dijk. He clips the ball forwards towards Isak, but we'll get there eventually. Isak can lay it off to Gomez on the right-hand side. He's going to stand the ball out towards the back post. Gakpo was the first one. He's come down. Isak hits it towards goal, and he's been Cleaned away by Areola. It's a great save. And that is the best chance of the game so far. Alphonse Areola has made a very important save from only 4 or 5 yards out. Saved a certain goal. We mentioned earlier that Isak is not stored for Liverpool in the Premier League yet. And that was his best chance. He flicked it goalwards with his left foot on a volley. A big, strong hand from Areola kept that out and keeps it goalless. Liverpool still in possession in the West Ham half. Canate spreads it right to Joe Gomez. He's put in a great cross. Another one in there. The first header is Isak, but can be cleared away by West Ham. Kerekes and Wirtz win that back. Liverpool just turning through slightly in the last few minutes. Grumber spreads it right again to Gomez. Level with the edge of the area. Gomez on the right-hand side. Loses that ball to Juve. And Malik Juve can clear that up the line, but it's going to roll all the way through to Allison. But Juve was caught late there, according to referee Darren England. So West Ham have an opportunity just to get a little bit of respite. That was definitely the best passage of play for Liverpool. Yeah, 22 minutes gone as we see that chance again. Gakpo with a great header down. Wirtz trying to flick it on but missed it. And Isak controlled on his chest and left-footed volley from 5 yards out. Areola spread himself big and it's a good left hand in the end to keep us goalless. Areola's free kick then. It was over halfway, but straight out for Liverpool throw, which Gomez will throw back to Canate. Canate finds Gomez. He steps past Matt, steps past Potts. Mighty's not there. Kerekes on the left-hand side, so they switch it out right towards Joe Gomez, but Juve can get in and head that away. And is he going to brave him? Juve coming forward now, over halfway. Juve going to try to go around Canate. He's messing him to the floor. Sadly, according to the referee. And Liverpool back in possession. Both sides using those long diagonals to get it fit so far. Kerekes finds Wirtz. He's come out on his left-hand side. Wirtz dribbles in. He's forced to go. Banter Grumberg, who finds McAllister on halfway. McAllister to Canate. Liverpool just stepping it, run forward again. Canate finds a good pass to Grumberg. He goes past Mangasa. Grumberg in towards the edge of the area. Mangasa with a tackle. The fair one, according to the referee, just before Grumberg is about to pull the trigger on the edge of the area. And then West Ham find themselves winning a free kick to clear the lines. Mangasa, the Frenchman, sliding in as we see a replay. Didn't take an awful lot of the ball for me. And the fact that he stood and held his hands up at the same time, I think he knows he didn't take much of the ball either. So just as Grumberg is about to enter the area, flew down, that nothing given. A very aggressive run from Ryan Grumberg. West Ham could probably count themselves a little bit lucky there. Areola's come as good 30 yards I was there to take this next free kick. Out on the left-hand side, but in halfway in his own area. Areola sends that forward towards Wilson. That Liverpool win the first contact. Paquetá putting Szoboszlai under a bit of pressure, and Liverpool try and clear their lines. Still scrapping around. It's broken for Bowen on the edge of the area. Bowen enters the area, plays the ball across. Kerekes can clear. Only as far as Szoboszlai, but a good 1-2 with that, and Liverpool find themselves at the pitch. Szoboszlai's pass towards Isak is cut out. The clearance finds Grumberg again. Grumberg is over halfway now. Goes forward to Wirtz in a pocket of space. Wirtz essentially plays the ball in towards Isak. Wan-Bissaka clears it away. The ball's coming back again with Liverpool. McAllister, 40 yards from goal central. Just taking his time. Picks his pass to Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. He's got Wirtz outside him and uses him. First goes back to FootballNight. But it's a nice triangle. The FootballNight slides that ball in towards Joe Gomez. He's got to the bar and cuts it across. Cleared away by West Ham. But Canase can send it back, but his pass is picked off by Paquetá. But surrounded by Liverpool players, he's forced to go back to his left back, Gif, who then sprays it right towards Mavropanos. Mavropanos stepping forwards, up towards halfway. Under a bit of pressure from Isak and Gakpo. And he's having to div out away, and now Isak sprinting down the left wing, running towards the box. Isak enters the area, cuts across. It's crowded out. And that's good defending again by West Ham as Mangasa is fouled by Gakpo. This game opening up now. 26 minutes gone, still goalless. But both sides having their moments. One real important save so far from Areola. Anderson not with lots to do, but West Ham are gaining a bit of territory. And a couple of set pieces going forwards. Non ball from Areola again towards Callum Wilson. They're not winning many of those aerial duels at the moment. And Liverpool pick up the second ball. Back with Allison. View finds Van Dijk. Van Dijk and Canase just trading passes halfway in their own half before more direct ones avert. So he then releases McAllister, goes to Gakpo on the left-hand side, cutting in. Gakpo then goes to Kirkes outside, cut across. And Chief steps in and clears that away. Another throw in for Liverpool, in line with the edge of the area on the left-hand side. Locals forward line, definitely looking good going forward so far. Kirkes right on the left touch line. Having to go back to Wirtz, who feels it was caught late by Mangasa. The referee gives a free kick. Mangasa something, a word in his ear. Bit of a late one from behind. Wirtz just retying his laces with his multi-coloured boots. Walks away gingerly. Definitely more impressive game from Florian Wirtz so far. Been all over the pitch and now into a bit of free roam. So this free kick for Liverpool, 35 yards from goal, but over on the left-hand side. Crossing opportunity. Van Dijk's gone forward, along with Nate and Gomez. All the players camped on the edge of the area. So Bosworth swings that in deep. First header is Mavropanos, and cleared away again by Paquetá. West Ham trying to get themselves out of the pitch, but McAllister steals it away. McAllister's going to shoot from distance and takes a deflection straight into the arms of Areola. McAllister not shy to pull the trigger, took a little bit of the deflection to slow it down, and West Ham can come away with Juve on the left-hand side. Keeps it into the channel for Wilson's chase, but Virgil van Dijk, using all his experience, just steps across him, picks that ball up, and Liverpool back in possession. McAllister bringing it forward into the centre circle, over halfway. Unopposed so far, still going. Goes out right to Joe Gomez. He tries to thread it through to Wirtz, but it's been cut out. Liverpool with 84% of the possession in the last 10 minutes. Definitely starting to turn the screw here at the London Stadium. Are the champions. Sabozai plays a good ball in towards theirs, but really important nick away by Chief. Allows West Ham to gain possession, and they've won themselves the throw-in halfway inside their own half on the left-hand side. Will be Chief that he looks to take that. Half an hour gone here, still goalless in the London Stadium. Chief goes up the line, and Sabozai can take down player. Dre ball out to the right hand side, and Van Bissaka coming forward for West Ham. His cross is not a good one, but it's bounced back to him. He goes inside to Paquetá. He's lost the ball to Wirtz, and Wirtz can run cleared, but Mangasa steps in, but bouncing around and it's forward for Szoboszlai halfway. He flips it left to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz takes it on his chest and comes forward, plays it into space, but Gakpo has just eluded him. Gakpo in a really good position on the edge of the area. Couldn't take the touch. And West Ham get themselves a free kick on halfway as Konate is deemed to have pushed Callum Wilson. There's definitely attacking opportunities to the away side, opening up. Really good ball in from Wirtz, but Gakpo's first touch just rolled away from them. And West Ham free to Debo could clear the lines. West Ham with a free kick just on halfway. And they're taking their time here. Todibo will come over. They know they've been under the cosh for the last 15 minutes or so here. But Ariota only really having to make one important save. Mangasa goes to Paquetá in the centre circle. He goes wide to Jared Bowen, that Bowen's forcing it back to the Brazilian. He still has it on halfway. He nods it forward to Freddie Cox, who gives it to Fernandez. He goes right to Bowen. Bowen in line with the edge of the area, tries to play it back to Fernandez. But it's too strong. That's going to go out for a goal kick. Not quite kicking up front for West Ham currently. One of the play in for them has been off that long ball for Callum Wilson to try and deal with. Unsuccessful so far. Liverpool gets us started with Van Dijk just running a short pass to Konate. He gives it back to his captain. West Ham just sitting off at the moment. Van Dijk goes to the McAllister. McAllister's hands to give it back to Van Dijk. West Ham just not allowing Liverpool to get up the pitch very easily currently. Gravenberch over halfway, plays direct into Gakpo on the left hand side. He's going to run off Wan-Bissaka, but cut inside. Again, it's not really falling for him. It's bounced around, and Wirtz can then find Gomez out on the right. He puts the ball in towards Isak, but headed away by West Ham. Bouncing around in midfield. Liverpool still have it with Szoboszlai to Gravenberch. Finds Gomez outside him again, level with the edge of the area. And he's back to Gravenberch. He plays the ball to Szoboszlai, and that's going to go all the way through for a goal kick. Everything positive so far from Liverpool coming through that midfield of Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. Other than that, save from Isak's chance. Finally on out. Liverpool not created too much to trouble the West Ham defence. Harrieta's kick is met by the head of Van Dijk, and that's back into the West Ham half, but West Ham can try and clear it away. But Mangasa's header goes out of play for a Liverpool throw just in front of Arne Slot. Wirtz leaves that for Kerkez, who again uses his shirt just to dry the ball. So there's a couple of steps and then tries to throw that down the line towards Isak, who's crowded out by Mangasa. He's paid a grey ball for Bowen. Bowen can run at Van Dijk now. Bowen on the right hand side, going towards the area, gets to the edge of the area, cuts back of his left foot, and his shot is blocked, but it falls for Fernandez. Fernandez just turns left and goes to Potts, who then finds Joseph to put the ball into the boxes. Cleared by Konate. Now BS3. Bowen having the opportunity to run at Van Dijk, but not able to get a shot away in the end. 35 minutes gone. London Stadium, good game so far, but still goalless. G from Potts exchange passes, and Potts tries to clip a ball in towards Bowen. Too much on it, and that'll be out of play for the goal kick. The West Ham captain not able to get on the end of that one. Allison takes the kick short to Van Dijk. He's just going to ward that ball up. Then halfway inside his own half, knocks it to McAllister. He goes right to Canate. Canate again will just trade passes with Van Dijk and McAllister across the back, waiting for West Ham to draw them out if they can. McAllister finds Canate still on halfway. Not those sword yet. Van Dijk now creeps into the West Ham half. Every outfield player in West Ham's half for me. 1-2 with Vers and Grambos. Vers can run towards goal, plays it in towards his outburst, played away by West Ham. And then Kirkes is adjudged to have fouled Jarrod Bowen. So West Ham will get the opportunity to clear their lines once again. A good pick up in that midfield from Florian Wirtz. Starts to try towards goal, but his pass to Alexander Isak was cut out. Mariota comes out of his area to take this kick. Sends that one long and direct again towards Wilson. Wilson's backed into Van Dijk, and the referee gives a free kick, and Virgil van Dijk falls to the floor. Didn't look a lot in that for me. Wilson just backed it and arm across the throat, but those things unintentional. That's why the referees give him the free kick, and Virgil van Dijk down for a little bit of attention. "38 minutes gone at the LondonStadium. West Ham 0, Liverpool 0. It's been an entertaining game so far, but only one real chance for both sides. You're looking to play off each other and producing some good moments going forward. Van Dijk goes long and central, looking for Gakpo. He's good at full for Gakpo. Plays about to forward reverse, and he's saved. Great chance for Liverpool, just as we were saying they hadn't created too much. But a really direct long ball from Van Dijk for Gakpo to try and get. Wan-Bissaka made a bit of a hatch of it. Gakpo laid it back to Florian Wirtz. He looked like he was just going to siphon it in, and it's saved down to his left from Alphonse Areola. And that is a glorious opportunity for Liverpool. But West Ham live to fight another day. Still 0-0. Canate on halfway. Rolls it across to Van Dijk. For all of Liverpool's intricate play, it was that really direct long central ball from Van Dijk that cut West Ham open. As every outfield player again into the Liverpool. It's with the West Ham half. Canate, Canate's in the side by a ball in towards the back post of the Gakpo, but headed away by Wan-Bissaka, and then Bowen can try and lead West Ham clear. But he's run out of room, and that'll be an attacking throw for Liverpool on the left-hand side. Level with the edge of the area. Carrickers just goes back to Wirtz in plenty of space. West Ham with every player behind the ball now. From Wirtz goes right to Canate. He gives it back to his Dutch teammate. Van Wirtz goes right to Canate. He's in plenty of space, and he'll go forwards. Spreads it to Gomez. He gives it back to Canate in support. Canate has that ball stolen off him by Freddie Potts, and then gives away the free kick. Snuffy there from the Liverpool centre-back. So, free kick for West Ham in their own area. Beautiful, those 3 attempts on target in this half. Yet to break the deadlock, but that recent chance before that was a really good one. One that he'll be disappointed not to score from. Gomez cuts up the line towards Isaac. It's going to go over his head and 3-2. Keeper rolls it straight out to Mavropanos. He finds Mambasafia and Mangasa. Mangasa under a bit of pressure. Gets the team up the pitch in the end. You know, like he was going to have the ball stolen off him as Potts finds Fernandez, and Fernandez goes past McAllister, but Bramberch and Gakpo helping now and win the free kick for Liverpool just inside their own half. Centrally, McAllister tries to get us back underway quickly, but the referee sends him back as the ball wasn't from the wide position. They are now back underway with Zertz running forwards. But Gomez outside him. Gomez plays that across last time. It's a good hand from Mariola. Still at the box with Gakpo. Goes back to McAllister. He finds Szoboszlai on the edge. Goes to Gomez. He stands the ball up towards the back post and then punched away by Mariola out for a corner. 2 good hands in there from the West Ham keeper. Good flowing move from Liverpool once again. And Szoboszlai is linking up. Ball out to the right for Gomez. He played it across first time, across the 6-yard area. Izad was interested. But a really good, strong hand from Ariola. Clawed that away and stopped the attack. But Liverpool do out themselves a corner over on this left-hand side. In fact, the referee has also given an infringement. So he'll be a offensive clearance for Ariola in the end when the Isaac was pulling on the centre-back. Chief has it on the left-hand side, just hooks it up and under into the air. Narte heads that way. Szoboszlai leaves on Potts too much. So it's a free kick for West Ham inside the Liverpool half, just outside the centre circle, but enough easy for West Ham to put this ball forward into the box for themselves. Only a couple of minutes until half time. Is there an opportunity for West Ham here? Liverpool have dealt well with the long ball with Konate and Van Dijk so far. Konate into the just wrestling me tired as we wait for this free kick. Very central, so not a lot of angle on it. Potts is going to kick that forward and goes out towards Button, but the first header is cleared away by Van Dijk. And then McAllister plays it off of Fernandez for a throw into Liverpool on this left-hand side. As we tick ever closer to half-time, still goalless. Kirk is just taking his time as he has a quick confab with the assistant referee as to where he's going to have to take this from. Kirk strides forward and throws up the line. Here's Paul playing it out, and Jadibo sends it back to his keeper, and West Ham go long up towards Wilson, but Van Dijk wins that header at the post again, and Palace tries to send it back, but Liverpool can come forward with McAllister central. McAllister chased Bramberch. He's been hurried by Potts, and Liverpool have lost it, and Mangasa stolen it away as we see there'll be 1 minute of additional time. Mangasa plays it to Masaka on the right. He's had to check his run, and now it's Liverpool to get some players back. And West Ham goes back to halfway with Tadibo. Goes left to Chief. Time ticking towards half time now. Paquetá. Wonder if West Ham can make one chance before the whistle. Potts kicks it down the left towards Chief. Chief almost by the byline, goes inside and then plays it off for Joe Gomez, and that'll be a corner. in the dying embers of this first half. Be a corner on the left-hand side for West Ham. No, you have to be quick to get over there to take it. The last action this half will be from the corner. Freddie Potts gone over there to take it, so it'll be an in-swinger again. 2 arms raised in the air. Watson plays inside the 6-yard area. Forward he comes, sends that ball in deep. Towards now from Panos. It's headed away. And that will be half-time here at the LondonStadium, where West Ham and Liverpool find themselves goalless. A couple of good opportunities for Liverpool in that first half. A really good save from Alphonse Areola from 5 yards out as Alexander Isak hooked a left-foot shot towards goal. Well palmed out by Areola, and after a long direct ball from Virgil van Dijk, Cody Gakpo gambled on the end of it. Managed to nod that ball back towards Florian Wirtz, who's 14 yards out and trying to side-foot it past Areola, but ended up being too close to him, and Areola just laid down to his left and took it. Really good opportunity for Florian Wirtz to get his Premier League goal scoring off the mark. A chance that he feel he can do much better if he could have it again, I'm sure. It's been an intriguing game here at the LondonStadium. Both sides looking to play some good football in the opposition half, but it is Liverpool who will go into half-time probably the happier with their performance. But they, let's see, not able to score a goal just yet. I will see you back for the second half. are on the way, with West Ham kicking from right to left. And that long ball deep into the Liverpool half is initially dealt with. And there'll be a free kick on the left-hand side as Bowen jumped with Kerkez and clashed heads. Referee just indicating that Bowen's arm is a little bit high. So both teams unchanged after an intriguing first half. The first half where Liverpool had the better chances. 2 good saves from Ariola, kept it goalless. Liverpool in might away strip this afternoon with Canate on halfway. And already there's a little bit more of a West Ham press in the second half, so they go back to Amerson, holding green, who throws Kerkez on the left-hand side. Kerkez comes forward and finds Graham Birch, who's going to ship that forward to Isaac on the left-hand side, but Mavropanos steps across him and still was off them. Tony clear up to the yellow boots of Van Dijk. Van Dijk finds Verzi, skips past Mangasa in midfield, plays out left towards Gakpo, but Wan-Bissaka can slice that away. Liverpool with the throw in on the left-hand side. Taken short, and unfortunately doesn't pay off as McAllister just tried to knock it back to the thrower Kerkez, but skews off his foot, and that'll be out of play for the West Ham defensive frame. But already has a good run in his second half from Suarez Verzi. Definitely by my reckoning having his best performance in a Liverpool shirt in the Premier League so far this season. For another line, but Van Dijk can head it back from where it came from, and West Ham try and clear out again, but Canate with a big header forwards. Only to Debo. He goes to Mangasa and Paquetá. He sends it all the way back to Ariola. He goes long and right. Goes through everyone. Van Dijk doesn't let that bounce back to his keeper. He gives it back to him on the turn. Van Dijk just walking forwards, knocks it to the right to his central defensive partner, Canate. He steps forward and goes right to Szoboszlai. He's just drifting out to this right-hand side. He goes inside to Van Dijk, who goes left this time to McAllister. McAllister just checked back and goes back to Van Dijk. West Ham happy to let Liverpool have it in their own half. Canate now decides to venture into the West Ham path. Plays now to Gomez on the right-hand side. Gomez finds Wirtz. He finds Gravenberch. And look at a certain neat flick from Szoboszlai to Gravenberch again, who plays the ball direct in towards the box, but it's going to slide past Wirtz on the way through to Ariola in goal. He rolls out to Mavropanos, who kips that long. It's going to go over everyone, much to the disappointment of the home support. Goes all the way through to Amerson, who gets us on the way much quicker this time with Gravenberch and Canate. Canate just steps on it, they flicks out and sends a long ball high and left, which Kerkez can get under control. And flicking forward to Verzi, gives it back to him. Gakpo now driving towards goal. Gakpo's going to shoot, and that's going to harmlessly go over, head in his hands. Very high and wide from Cody Gakpo. But the intent was there. Driving towards the box. Pulled to treat on his right foot. It did not trouble Ariola in the West Ham goal. Ariola goes short with the kick to Mavropanos, who plays it left to Devo. High press on Liverpool, forces Juve to clear his lines. Forced of him, his Gerrans has flicked off of Szoboszlai. So it'll be a West Ham throw, still in their own half, just in front of Nino, Espirito Santo. She's just being forced back by the referee. Then throws it down the line towards Wilson, who's wrestling with Gomez, and Liverpool have it back again. Callum Wilson, who's been in the goals in recent games, not had an awful lot to do today so far. Carrying quite a frustrated figure at the top of the pitch. Wilson Addison then in his own penalty box. He's going to kick back left towards Jerkes, who heads it up the line. And the neat 1-2 that releases Verts with Potts for company. He plays it on to Kirkes on the outside. Kirkes then goes inside towards Gakpo. Can't get it under control. West Ham can clear. So Liverpool have a player down, but West Ham continue. Over this left-hand side with Chief, who can now venture into the Liverpool area, coming forwards. He'll play a ball in towards the box, but Canate can clear that out for the throw on the left-hand side. G's takes quickly, back to Mangasa. Here's Fernandez. Takes central to Pacto, plays out right to Wan Lasafia. One touch to get out of his feet, puts the ball into the box. Callum Wilson, control, goes out to Mangasa. He finds Juve on the left, plays that ball in. And that's good hands from Allison. Not had an awful lot to do in that first half. Just comes out and flanks across. His white and his bands gleaming. Allison just rolls it to the feet of Van Dijk. Plays it across to Canale. He's happy just to come forward. Finds Gravenberch. He's under a bit of pressure from Potts. Gravenberch as well. That's Joe Gomez. Freddie Potts just snapping away at his heels. Gravenberch has it again and looks left this time and spreads out towards Kirkes. But Wan-Bissaka cuts out and Bowen can come forward for West Ham. Break it into the Liverpool half. There's got three players around him. But West Ham still have it in the centre with Potts, who comes left to Chief. Just level with the engineer and plays it across, but it's taken with deflection. Still with West Ham and Fernandez in the centre of the pitch. Plays out right to Wan-Bissaka, comes to join the attack. Bissaka gives it to Bowen. Bowen to Paquetá. Threads the ball into the box, but beats everyone. Holds his hand up to say his apologies. That goes all the way through to Addison. There will be opportunities for West Ham to get forward. Van Dijk, very familiar pattern, rolls it across to Canate, who gives it to Joe Gomez. He's happy to just give it back to his central defensive partner. Canate goes to Gravenberch, playing that really deep role this afternoon. Need 1-2 with Verts and the Carrots there, finds FootballNight. But West Ham will want it high up on the pitch again. On halfway with Paquetá, and looks to try and drift past his man. He does and finds Bowen wide on the right hand side. Bowen running at Kirkes, goes on the outside, plays that ball in, it's flicked off of Van Dijk. Now be a corner to West Ham. Virgil van Dijk just asking his midfield what happened there to give the ball away. Jared Bowen driving at the left back of Kirkes and trying to flick the ball over the outside of his right there. That'll be the fourth quarter this afternoon for West Ham. On the right hand side this time. Puck's doing over to take this one again. The left arm raised with the announced swinger. In he comes. Cleared away at the front post by Gakpo. Fernandez tries to return it. They're going to spoon up in the air. Flicked right by Todibo. The Potts to drive it against Kirkes. Now be throwing on the right hand side. Not the best of deliveries from Freddie Potts. Be disappointed with that. To not be the first man. West Ham still with the ball in the Liverpool half. Thrown back to Fernandez. Plays the ball in towards Wan-Bissaka, lays it off to Mangasa. Now packets up. There's inside to Freddie Potts, a little bit congested in that central area. West Ham going back with Mangasa. And Paquetá plays that ball down the line to Wan-Bissaka. It goes into Fernandes. Fernandes plays it outright to Jarrod Bowen. Jarrod Bowen driving into the box again, shoots, and it's going to come off of Kirkes now, be it the 5th corner of the afternoon. Back on that right hand side. Jarrod Bowen finding a lot more space in this second half. Hugging the touchline a little bit more, just to give himself a bit more room, or West Ham a bit more width. Taking short this time, so Paquetá then gives it left-footed. Flicked away by Konate. There'll be another corner. West Ham increasing the pressure on the champions. Here at the London Stadium, 56 minutes gone, still goalless. But a good start to the second half from the home side. Freddie Potts comes over. So the kick, and this time it will be an in-swinger. Both arms raised to signal the moves. Potts then steps up and swings that in. Good area, but cleared away. Good strong header from Liverpool, but West Ham will recycle possession with Fernandes. He then goes back to Wan-Bissaka on halfway. Every player inside the Liverpool half currently. Paquetá tries to slide that down the right side for Bowen to chase, but Konate does cut that out, but Paquetá wins it back. West Ham still in the ascendancy. Fernandes goes right to Bowen. Konate coming out to try and close him down. Bowen just forces to go back to Fernandes. He then plays it's a Wan-Bissaka, but Konate's going to step across and can only knock it out first throw. Liverpool can't get themselves out currently. Wan-Bissaka with a throw, he goes back to Paquetá, spreads it left this time to Todibo. Todibo comes forward and happy to use Mangasa next to him just to set this play up. Mangasa goes left to Potts, he comes right to G. Back inside to Freddie Potts. Freddie Potts finds Paquetá, he's gone past Florian Wirtz, and it's bounced off him, but shoots from distance. It's a great attempt, but watched wide by Addison. Hazard just trying to play a pass, it freaked off with McAllister and just sets up for him, end up being 3 or 4 yards wide. It was a good strike. If that was on target, could have caused a few issues. But West Ham definitely starting this second half in the ascendancy. Liverpool can't really get control as forward has been released. Damian O'Brien puts the ball into the box, and it's well cleared by Mavropanos. Direct play from Liverpool's dead behind West Ham. Gomez tipping down the channel, and first time put it in towards both Isak and Gakpo, but Mavropanos just steps across and cleared it away. So it'll be throw-in for Liverpool on the left-hand side, which Kirkes has. Joe Gomez coming all the way over from right back to take this, so it's going to be a long throw. See me more and more in the Premier League this season. Gomez steps forward towards the line, sends that in long towards Konate, that headed away by Mavropanos. Only to Gomez, he gives it back to Florian Wirtz. Wirtz, twinkle toes left of it, slides in Gomez on the left hand side. He plays it back to Isak, and that is a goal for Liverpool. West Ham raise their arms for offside, but Alexander Isak is off the mark in the Premier League for Liverpool this season with a fantastic right foot to finish from 14 yards. Shrunched it over into the bottom right hand corner. And the Swedish striker is off the mark in the Premier League for his new club. Came from the long throw, wasn't really dealt with by West Ham. Some good football by Florian Wirtz, played in Cody Gakpo on the left-hand side. He's well onside, which West Ham are claiming for. He cut it back from about 12 yards out. Alexander Isak fires home. threads it into the bottom right-hand corner. And Ariola was going the other way and couldn't change direction quick enough to get down to it. And the champions go 1-0 up on 60 minutes. First Premier League goal for Alexander Isak. And it was a finish of a man in form, which he hasn't been this season. So are Liverpool about to see the best of Alexander Isak? Back underway with West Ham. They'll be most disappointed, just as West Ham have the best spell of the game. In attack, Liverpool hit home. McAllister has gone down, claiming an arm to the face from Paquetá. Didn't look too much in that for me. Both players going up fairly. McAllister up and walking away. No medical attention needed. Liverpool definitely been second best in this second half. But an excellent strike from Alexander Isak. Lovely finish. Puts them in front after a torrid battle form for both club and striker. Liverpool get us back underway with Van Dijk into the impressive verts today. He spreads that right to Konaté. He comes up to halfway. He fires with McAllister. Chips that left to Kirkers in plenty of space. Kirkers lets that bounce towards the byline. Tries to swing it in first time. Wan-Bissaka steps across, and that'll be the corner for Liverpool. Over on that left-hand side. Milos Kirkers finding plenty of space there. Couldn't quite get his cross past Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Corner to Liverpool. Still the Tony Gakpo to put this in from the right-hand side. So it'll be an in-swing of plenty of players in front of the keeper. In comes that ball deep. Ariola flips at it, but does get a hand on it to palm it away. And Gasser does well to keep that in, and he'll then send that long for Paquetá to chase. But more adverts will win that race and knocks it back to keeper Allison. Anderson with his right yellow boot sends that forward, but West Ham managing to recover possession with Talibo to find Bowen on the right hand side. Plenty of players around him. He's been wrestled off it, but wins himself a free kick. Tony Gakpo is a little bit too eager there, according to referee down in England. West Ham get us back underway. Mavropanos in the centre of the park. Finds G from the left outside. He looks to run in under a bit of pressure from Szoboszlai. Gets his pass away to Paquetá. He finds Wan-Bissaka, who finds Potts in a bit of space. Potts finds Bowen outside, and Bowen running towards the byline, puts that ball in deep. It's gone over everyone. Chiefs can't keep that in. But Jarrod Bowen once again just having a bit of joy on that right hand side. Certainly growing into the game in the second half with a bit of a tactical tweak at half time. Nino Espirito Santo, arms folded, furiously chewing his gum. Indeed, disappointed to see him side going 1-0 down. They started really well in the second half. Ball is with Ariola, who kicks that forward to Paquetá, takes that bound on halfway and finds Bowen outside him on the right. Bowen comes back into Paquetá, who finds Wan-Bissaka. Not a lot of space out there at the moment for West Ham. And Wan-Bissaka and Bowen trade nice 1-2. It's been stolen by Liverpool. Gakpo can bring it there, and he's brought down fairly cynically there by Wan-Bissaka. He sprints away from the scene of the crime. in order to try and get away from the referee's book, which I think he has successfully done. As West Ham let to begin. Here is Gilham ready. 65 minutes gone here. West Ham 0, Liverpool 1 in the LondonStadium. It's been an intriguing second half. Alexander Isak's goal. The difference between the sides. Mangasa goes flying into a tackle on Szoboszlai. Not like a good one to me, but very forceful. And the referee's going to go to his pocket here. It's a yellow card for the Frenchman. Well, sliding in on Szoboszlai. One of those ones where studs are up. He has taken the ball. Hard, forceful challenge. Maybe a little bit on the follow through. Mangasa finds his way into Darren England's notebook. It's his second yellow card of the season. Szoboszlai is up and moving okay. As it also looks like Liverpool are readying Kigo Ekitike, who's been a fantastic signing for them this season. Kirkers clips the ball up the line, was flicked off of Jared Buddin, and will be a throw-in. So now it's going to allow these substitutes to take place. So it's Liverpool first of all, and it's goal scorer Alexander Isak who's going to make way. Lovely finish on his right foot from 12 yards out on the half volley, just side-footing it past Alphonse Areola to get off the mark in the Premier League for his new side. He's going to make way, and it's going to be Hugo Ekitike coming on for the away side. West Ham were readying Lewis Gilham, and he is going to come on, and it's the recently booked Mangasa. He's going to come off, so potential change of shape coming for West Ham as Lewis Gilham enters the fray. The Brazilian, big reputation before he made his move to the Premier League. Here's just to see how he goes. So Fernandez is going to just drop a little bit deeper in with Freddie Potts. West Ham in possession with Mavropanos, and he does find Fernandez on halfway. He finds Iman Gilham. He's having to just not allow back to Devo. Liverpool just sitting a little bit deeper towards their goal. Pakatalan chips out right towards David, but too much on there, and that will be out of play on the left-hand side. 69 minutes gone here. West Ham trailing at home 1-0 to Liverpool. You feel that it's going to be opportunities for both sides before the end of the game. Freddie Potts goes left to Manichu. He goes back to Tonibo. Liverpool seen with everyone behind the ball currently. Tonibo on halfway. Comes forward and plays that left to Lewis Gilham. Gilham left-footed, creeps inside, but then decides to play it back to Mavropanos, who finds Fernandez. Fernandez running forward towards the box now. Just cuts back on his right foot and plays it to Freddie Potts. He then goes, he tries to put that into the box, and that's going to take another deflection, and there'll be another West Ham corner on that right-hand side. Get ready racking them up this afternoon. 7th corner for the home side. Freddie Potts once more. He's going to deliver this. It'll be right-footed. It'll be an away swinger in towards the centre, but cleared away by Van Dijk, and then hooks further, cleared by Wirtz. The Chief just knocks that back to Wan-Bissaka on halfway. West Ham still in possession with Fernandez allowed to come forward. Goes right to Potts. He finds Bowen. With a bit of a stunt more, but keeps the ball at his feet. Bowen goes past two players. He's now running at Kirkes. His ball then is cleared away by Van Dijk. Ball on the floor. Gakpo trying to get his side up the pitch. He can only win a throw in off of Freddie Potts. Inside his own half still, halfway. Kirkes will have the throw on the left-hand side, wearing his long sleeve and black gloves this afternoon. The Bulgarian throws it down the line and then flicked over by Gakpo. There's a free kick. That's Wirtz is fouled. So Liverpool just giving a little bit of respite. Kirkes having a conversation with the referee about where he needs to take this from, and it eventually rolls that back to Van Dijk, who decides to just move forward with the ball after knocking it to Konate. Konate clips it up into the channel for Ekitike. So that's real touches we see of him. He does well to then bring in Gravenberch, who finds Szoboszlai on the right-hand side. Goes back to Gravenberch, who's forced to go back into the centre circle to Van Dijk, who returns it back to the Dutchman. Konate now plays the direct ball into Wirtz's space, does well. Wirtz tries to find Ekitike, but he can't get under control, and Potts can turn that over to Paquetá, who finds Bowen on the right-hand side. Plenty plays back for Liverpool, and Kirkes as well to steal that off of them. And then finds Wirtz, who gets away from his man. Szoboszlai, McAllister, out wide to Gomez. Happy just to cut back inside and knock it back to Van Dijk. Liverpool looking just to keep the ball and build slowly. Van Dijk finds Szoboszlai. Out left with Kirkes. He's happy to go back to his captain, and Van Dijk will then kick out right to Gomez. He takes out his chest, plays a 1-2 with Wirtz and tries to release Wirtz down the right hand side, but Tadebo's going to get there first. Tadebo with his back to play, wrestling away, twisting and turning, gives it to Juve, right on the corner flag. Juve tries to clear it up, but can't go too far, so that'll be an attacking throw-in for Liverpool. So Liverpool are readying Curtis Jones by the looks of things. Started the last league game in that 3-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest. Davis throws it in towards Ekitike, takes off his chest and finds Wirtz. Goes back to Szoboszlai in support. He clips it all the way back to the centre circle with Kirkes. The advanced position for Liverpool is now back on the halfway line. Konate goes into Wirtz. He's finding plenty of space in this game. Again, back to the centre-back pairing. Liverpool just trying to control and dictate. Konate finds Gravenberch on this right-hand side. He plays Gomez. You know it's 1-2. Gravenberch tries to drive in essentially, but McAllister is forced to go back to Konate. Definitely going to see Curtis Jones imminently to make tackle in there from behind. Bon David. And referee gives a free kick. As Fernandez going in strongly, just catching the back of Gravenberch's heel. And it's going to be Wirtz making way for Curtis Jones. Did impress with Wirtz this afternoon. Definitely the best game think I've seen him have the German. And it's Englishman Curtis Jones coming on to replace him. Still, the front row was really disappointed they didn't take that really good opportunity that he had in the first half. But certainly an impressive game from him this afternoon, as Jones gets his first touch and gets it to Gareth, who gives it back to him. And goes inside to McAllister, to Gravenberch, who can come forwards. Plays a good ball to Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones now driving forward. Flips it to Ekitike, gives it back to Ekitike, shoots. And that is wide, but a good attempt from distance. Lovely footwork from Curtis Jones to get it back to Hugo Ekitike with a back heel. And Ekitike just set it outside of Mavropanos to try to bring it back towards the post, but couldn't bend it far enough. West Ham have themselves a goal kick. They're giving possession away in their own half, and it'll be a throw in to Liverpool, halfway inside the West Ham half. Bit of pace gone over this game since the goal, as Gilhern can steal off a sub-was line halfway and driving forward towards the box. Tries to fade in Callum Wilson. Little clips off of Konate and danger is averted. Liverpool can get themselves away, but a sloppy pass of Gravenberch, and West Ham win it back with Paquetá halfway inside their half. Out to Bowen, level with the edge of the penalty area. Got 3 players around him, so he uses Mohamed Sakhar's support. He gives it back to Potts. Essentially, he goes to Fernandez. Fernandez finds Paquetá. Out to Bowen. He sets onto his left and crosses it in towards Wilson. Headed away by Konate. West Ham pick up the second ball. Good footwork from Paquetá again. But so tries to go past 2, and Liverpool steer their way and can make no counter-attack. Good tackle over there by Fernandez to get out for a throw-in to Liverpool. It's Fulkrug, the German, enters the fray. 78 minutes gone here at the London Stadium. West Ham, the home side 0, Liverpool 1. A bit of a chess match over the last 10 minutes since Liverpool did take the lead. Alexander Isak's first goal for his new side in the Premier League. West Ham now breaking on the left-hand side with Juve. To try and put that ball in to the box, but it's going to hit Gomez and go out of play for a throw. Juve level with the edge of the area. Just throws that back to Freddie Potts. West Ham will keep the ball on halfway, but Ekitike and Jones causing the press. But good play from West Ham there to get through Liverpool's press. Is now on the right-hand side with Wan-Bissaka. Takes a touch to bring it back and sets it back to Fernandez. He tries to play in, but blocked by Gakpo. Still with Fernandez. Knocks it down the line towards Paquetá, who flicks it in towards Fulkrug, who got his header just wide of the goal, but the flag was up. Paquetá drifted into an offside position from the initial pass. As you see on the replay, he's well off. I think Liverpool knew that as they all stopped as well. Fulkrug getting the head of Konate, did flick it towards goal, but wasn't quite strong enough. Emerson then clears his Lawrence long out left towards Gakpo, who rises and nods the arm, but can only really find Freddie Potts, and West Ham will come again. Clip ball towards Juve is carried by Szoboszlai. You with a neat pass releases Joe Gomez on halfway. Sends a long diagonal out right towards Ekitike, but West Ham steal it back. The events will end over the last few moments. Paquetá in the centre circle. Finds Fernandez, who's allowed to come forward. Goes right towards his captain, Jarrod Bowen. Halfway inside Liverpool's half. Back to Paquetá and Mavropanos in the centre circle. Todibo finds Freddie Potts. West Ham just controlling possession with Paquetá and Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka on the right, looks to come inside. Flicks it towards Barrett, who tries to give it back to him on the outside and does. Wan-Bissaka's cross hits Kirkes. And Kirkes can kick that away. Need touch by Ekitike, Forrest Jones, but West Ham steal it away. But Liverpool then win it back with Jones, as allows to come forward over the halfway line. Finds the line on the right. Spurs decides just to roll that back to Canate. Liverpool trying to take the sting out of this West Ham attack with Curtis Jones again in the centre. Plays the ball towards Ekitike. Just did a bounce off of the West Ham mat, and it falls at the feet of McAllister, and the Liverpool resets. Gravenberch and McAllister finds Szoboszlai fairly central, about 30 yards from goal. Goes out right to Ekitike, who just enters into the area. Down towards the byline. His cross is blocked by Juice. Juice still has it in the left back position under a bit of pressure from Szoboszlai. He gives him a push. And West Ham find themselves with a free kick in that left back area. 82 minutes gone at the London Stadium. Still Arizona, that 60th minute goal. Keeps the away side of the head, 1-0. Arriola sends that long and central towards Fulkrug, but Canate wins the header, and then Fulkrug had a bit of frustration, leans on Szoboszlai to win his side. A free kick. Liverpool in no rush to take this now. And they know they've been in a game this afternoon, but West Ham will just be a little bit disappointed with the amount of times they forced Alisson into a save, which hasn't been too many. It's Lucas Paquetá finds himself in the referee's notebook for a bit of dissent, arguing with down in England about certain decisions that have been made. Lucas Paquetá is incensed about something, not sure what's gone on. That Darren England is stopping play here. Lucas Paquetá still going. Something is clearly upsetting, but Darren England has cautioned Lucas Paquetá, who needs to be very careful. And in fact, Darren England has sent off Lucas Paquetá. 2 yellow cards in the space of a couple of moments. And that is one of the strangest red cards you will see this season. Something had gone on. Lucas Paquetá clearly was upset, and he argued to get himself into the book and just kept going and going, and Darren England's had enough. And there's 2 yellow cards for the same incident. Lucas Paquetá finds himself walking off. I think the second one might have even been for sarcastically clattering, as he now has a conversation with the 4th official. Someone from West Ham just needs to get hold of him here and calm him down before he gets himself in more trouble. But just as West Ham were trying to change the game in their favour, that's a big blow for them. Lucas Paquetá still going, still not off the pitch, just sarcastically clapping. We see it again. So Paquetá, in the sense that the foul went against Nicholas Fulkrug, because he's been to the first yellow card is for dissent, and then he's gone to the referee again and again, still fighting his case and arguing. And Darren England's had enough, and 2 yellow cards, when you can see that the West Ham players are furious with their own man there. Made things really difficult for them in the last 5 minutes now, so we're finally back underway after all of that, and Ekitike can bring it forward for Liverpool on the left hand side, driving towards goal. He's touch it too heavy, and West Ham can come away with it, with Fernandes loading that central midfield now that he's lost his partner in Paquetá. Fernandes as well as hold on to it, and with a free kick. Zakatike is still down, holding his left knee. Took a little bit of a whack, I think. Zakatike looks to step in, and he's clashed knees with Mavropanos there. Bit of a sore one, but he's up and moving okay. "86 minutes gone in the London Stadium, still 1-0 to Liverpool. West Ham down to 10 men. To Lucas Paquetá picks up 2 yellow cards in the space of a minute. Both a lot over the descent. And West Ham send that free kick long in towards the Liverpool area, but Van Dijk can get the first header away in. Brumbertus tries to clear it again, but West Ham win it back with Luis Gilherme. Goes to Juve, who plays it inside to Nemo. He's very advanced. He kicks that ball in towards Wan-Bissaka, who does get it and turns it back in towards the penalty area, but Liverpool get it away with Sabozlai. His touch is too heavy, and Fernandes wins it back. West Ham with 10 men still looking dangerous. Mavropanos on halfway. He goes forward to Nemo. Tive goes to Luis Gilherme on his left-hand side. He floats in to Fulcrum. He tries to give it back, and Canate just smothers it away. It's still not clear. Forced to Jarrod Bowen, shoots, and that is just wide. We know how good Jarrod Bowen is on that left third. It just fell for him on the edge of the area. It was bouncing around in there. Came off of full glass, and Bowen would like to think he'd do much better if he had that chance again. Just bent it towards that top left-hand corner. Headed his hands. Emerson with Deaton. But unfortunately, so was the crossbar, as the experienced Thomas Souček comes on for the last moments in place of Freddie Potts. Not long left here at the London Stadium. 88 minutes gone. 10 men of West Ham still trading 1-0 to Alexander Isak goal for Liverpool. But West Ham, I mean, more of the play, win themselves a throw in on the right hand side, just inside the Liverpool half. There'll be a good chunk of time added on here after that Lucas Paquetá incident. 2 yellow cards, 60 seconds apart really, both descent. West Ham, and with Fernandes tries to slide it down to Bowen. That's going to elude him, and it'll be a throw in on the left hand side, deep inside Liverpool's half. Kenrick is taking lots of time as Captain Van Dijk just telling him to just calm down. Liverpool managed to get themselves up the pitch with Ekitike, but is adjudged to have fouled his West Ham counterpart. West Ham with the opportunity again. Free kick in the Liverpool half, just 10 yards on from halfway, but an opportunity for them to put the ball into the box, especially with the likes of Thomas Souček now on the pitch. Pretty much everyone going forward for West Ham, apart from Juve and Wan-Bissaka. Liverpool pulled everyone back into the penalty box. Fernandes then with his arm raised, sends that ball deep in towards Blank. Canate flicks on over Allison, who came to claim. Brumbertus can clear that away. Again, the 10 men of West Ham relentless at the moment, still have possession. Mavropanos on halfway, pressed by McAllister, but finds Juve. Juve who turns themselves into trouble, but does win a throw in off of Joe Gomez. G's ball back in as we tick on to 90 minutes. There's going to be 5 minutes additional time here as a minimum at the London Stadium. Wan-Bissaka finds Fernandes. He spins that left to Nemo. Can West Ham make a chance in this last 5 minutes to steal the point? Gil Harab, who's over on the right-hand side now. Goes back to Mavropanos again. Todibo on halfway. Liverpool sitting pretty deep against the 10 men of West Ham. Mavropanos on the centre spot. Goes right to Gil Harab. He cuts his side on his left foot and tries to drive forward. Still going, Lewis Gil. Plays a 1-2 with Fulkrug. Still in the box, but still the barrel's clear, and Van Dijk could hook it away with his left foot. Still be a dangerous throw-in for West Ham on the right-hand side. 91 minutes gone, and Fernandes throws that ball in towards Fulkrug, who does get up, but Alison's going to grab that. Pretty simple for the Brazilian keeper. He's going to take all of his 8 seconds here and sends that long, looking for Ekitike. Todibo wins the header to send it back towards your Liverpool goal. With Camister gets the ball on his chest, and Liverpool can just get a little bit of respite here with Kirkes, who comes forward to halfway. Finds Gakpo on the left-hand side. He gives it back to him. He then finds Curtis Jones. Ball in towards Szoboszlai. Keeper's carry, but Szoboszlai still gets there, but forced out. Plays that back to Joe Gomez as he kicks it in towards Gakpo, who buries it into the net. And Liverpool will leave London with the 3 points. A real sucker punch for West Ham. The 10 men who battled since that red card 10 minutes ago. But Cody Gakpo has got Liverpool's second goal, and the 3 points will be going back up north. There's a good ball in, and keeper just gambled on it out here to Kalman. Szoboszlai managed to recycle play back to Joe Gomez, who kicked the ball in, and Mavropanos missed his header. Gakpo took it on his chest and swung the right foot at it. Keeper couldn't do a lot about it. As Gakpo thumps it into the centre of the goal from 5 yards out. And Liverpool 2, West Ham 0, 3 points. Going back home, especially after a disappointing run of form in the Premier League. A much needed 3 points for Arne Slot, as the goal is confirmed after a brief VAR check. And the stand opposite starts to filter out the West Ham supporters. They'll be disappointed with the result, but feel that they gained themselves a good chance in this game. But the silly red card of Paquetá did not help them. Gakpo then driving forwards on the left-hand side, goes inside to Hugo Ekitike. Liverpool in no rush now. Curtis Jones just knocks that back to Kirkes, who plays it across to Konate. West Ham just look a little bit deflated now. Even with 10 men down, they were pressing really hard to get that equaliser. Hats off to them. Unfortunately, just not able to really test Alisson too much in the Liverpool goal this afternoon. 94 minutes on the clock. Szoboszlai goes left to Andy Robertson, who's just been brought on for the remainder of the match. From Birch. And it's walking football now. West Ham not looking to press. Liverpool just sending it back to their keeper. He goes into the impressive Ryan Gravenberch today, who again under no pressure will just roll that ball back to his captain Van Dijk as the minutes tick down. Here's Szoboszlai on the right hand side into the West Ham half. Just flips that back to Jay Gomez, who will pick up the assist for the second goal.